О,
Hello, everyone.
о,
My name is
начинаем,
G Tree.
наконец.
This is AGDQ 2024, supporting the Prevent Cancer Foundation, and this is 30XX. The 5-second version is What if Mega Man X were a roguelike? And for the longer version, I'm going to introduce my co-commentators, two wonderful contractors here helping me through our multiverse of possibilities. On the couch today, we have Mr. Cab 55.
Hello.
A recently minted fan of the 30XX series.
Oh, I've loved this series for a while. You just made me play the game in the speedrun contest.
Got it. Recently minted fan of this game. And coming to us from across the country, we have one of the most seasoned contractors out there, one of the lead devs of this game, CK, aka Mr. Chris King. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning. Incredible. It's so lovely to be here.
Awesome. We are very honored and glad to have you with us. First thing you're probably noticing is that the vibes, the aesthetics of this game are absolutely immaculate. City Fires, the composer, as previously noted in one of our generous donation comments, absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. You'll hear it for the whole run as we go through. Get into a little bit of discussion about what we're going to be doing today and how we're going to be doing it. We will be playing as Ace. The rest of the Mega Man block will be more of a jump and shoot affair, but this is more of a slice and stab run. We'll be playing as player 2 mode, if you will. And with the most recent patch of the game, we also have access to a number of color palettes. So I'm going to be using a Draco Pence because I don't know if the team at Battery Stable Games intended this, but this is the closest to trans rights colors that we have available to us, and it's also the set that in-game signifies power. So whether it was intentional or not, I agree with the ethos that trans people are exceptionally powerful, and so I'm grateful to have this opportunity.
Yeah, it's totally intentional.
Вот это приветственные слова.
Thanks to everyone's
Представление
amazing generosity, I
о
have to
раннере,
stop
о
off
том,
at
что
this
играть
station
в
first
ВК
to turn
позволяет.
on a bunch of extra challenge conditions. This is going to be everything from reducing healing efficacy to putting a timer that will poison us if we don't make it to the end of stage in time, letting enemies move and shoot faster,
Вот
making enemies more
элементы
dangerous,
рогалика.
including elite variants,
Снижение
more
ХП,
damage and have better
увеличение
attacks,
яд,
giving
который
every
бьет
enemy in the
последствия
game more
бежим
health.
вовремя
Regular
перед
enemies and
уровнем.
mini-bosses get 30%, bosses get 150%. Adding
У
extra
босса
challenges
150%
and dangers to
здоровья.
rooms that are normally meant to help you power up during the run, and introducing a new system that makes it so that we have to remember in between every level, and Mr. Cab will probably help me out with that if I forget, to change our equipment to power up as best we can,
Запрет
and
изменения
also that in Ace's case in
усилений
particular,
и
makes it so that
пауэрапов на
his
среди
inherent
уровня.
energy, the power use meter, drops off entirely to 0 if he gets hit at any point. So we have a lot working against us, but working in favor, we also have a few things. This is a roguelite, and since we are playing a New Game Plus category, we have all of the meta progression upgrades available to us. Most important for today is the environment configurator.
И
This lets
играем
us
в МГ+,
prefer up to 2 levels to show up
поэтому
in
у
the
нас
first half of
все
the run and
апгрейды есть.
vanish up to 2 levels to the second half of the run. So we'll be preferring a few levels that have great movement options and powers for Ace, and sending one to the end that hopefully when we get there will be much easier. Other things we have working in our favor are Dally the cat here. So again, because of your incredible generosity, I'm going to do a quick sound balance to make sure that when we pet Dally, everyone can hear her. She is so cute. Thank you very much for your generosity.
I'm so glad.
Мгм. Мгм. Технические шоколадки заказывали?
Let's see, if we're able to do something with that, I'm going to need like 30 seconds maybe? I should be able to get this fixed.
Так, шоколадки починили, продолжаем.
Like 30 seconds with a different screen on the computer.
Yeah, I'm going to have to make one change out of game, if that's not clear.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Would you like a donation in the meantime or something?
Yes, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry about that. We've got $50 from Ryko404 donating for the Mega Man block. 30XCX is a lot of fun, and Mega Man 3 is my first and
Нет.
probably my favorite classic Mega Man game. Donating for the Buster-only run to show off all the
ВК
extra strats for those of
скрывает.
us that didn't want to use weapon energy. Shout-outs to the tech crew for keeping this marathon going smoothly. I'm happy to announce we have actually blown past the $8,000 needed for Buster-only. We have reached that incentive.
Все, они достигли инцентива с котиком.
Thank you so much.
Теперь ран 100% начнется.
one more, if you would.
Absolutely. We've got $50 from Ghost Phoenix. Glad to see probably my favorite game that came out last year on GDQ, and good luck to a tea tree. Here's $50 to remember to pet the Dally. Also, scripture incentive win. Got one more?
Absolutely, one more.
Sure. We've got $30.24 from Triumphant Base. Here's $30 XDX to 30 XDX. That's 30.xx cents. So if you want to get those donations, we can start a $30 and something cents donation train.
Very good. Thank you, everyone. Well, we have worked our way through the confusion and entropy of the Steam Cloud save system, and we are ready to get back to things.
The entropy modifier we did not expect.
Yeah, no kidding. I didn't plan for that one. Actually, I did, and here we are anyways. So yeah, the last thing we have working in our favor is the mysterious trader who offers us up to 5 items that we can take into the run with us immediately, and Dally will actually show up very early in the run to give us 1 additional boon. These 5 items are creating 2 combos that basically represent the New Game Plus category, increase our odds of getting through the game as quickly as possible. Items 2 and 4 here that you can see on your screen are basically a wax and wane system. We are making a location called the Very Safe Laboratory show up in every level 1 to 9 out of 10 in this run. And what it does is it offers some of the most powerful augments in the game called prototypes that also have significant downsides. So we accept a lot of risk onto ourselves and we power up as much as we can. Item number 2 there, the prototype resonator, which I will go ahead and take, makes those upsides even stronger as long as we can survive the downsides. The other 3 items are a combination of what we colloquially in the community call the shoplifter combo. They allow us to use a secondary currency called scrap bits earned in a variety of ways to...
В общем, нам рассказывают о механике рогалика, о том, что мы берем бонусы, позволяющие нам ставить в себя супермощные модификаторы, которые имеют супермощные негативные эффекты, из-за чего мы должны будем балансировать между негативными эффектами и позитивными эффектами. Все в этой игре рандомно. И он активирует энтропию до нужного уровня.
And probably do our environment configurator again as well.
Do you have to reset these for every run through the game? So
that is
just gotta watch those
case.
resets.
Again, as a previous donation mentioned, CK and the community of devs are very, very attentive to people's needs and desires. So it sounds like in the future there may be an opportunity to have those sorts of things saved in. But for now, thank you very much for catching me on that.
Yeah, I think we're going to do that for 1.2.
Excellent, thank you. All right, without further ado, the timer starts as soon as Ace hits the ground in level 1, and we'll find out what it is when we get there. So in 3, 2, 1, go!
You got it, buddy.
Burning Temple. This is the level I would have liked to see most for level 1. We'll take a bonus from Dally. This is an armor piece, kind of like the armor upgrades in Mega Man X that give us new abilities. This armor piece is defensively based, and what it does is it makes it so that when we collect a health power-up, there is a small chance of also generating armor off of it, which is that silver health at the far right side of the health bar in the top.
Сейчас нам рассказывают о том, что тут есть апгрейд, кусок брони, который при подъеме ХП может создать один кусочек брони. И вот этот вот шар, который катился, был на самом деле мини-боссом, которого мы били все это время.
This is a very safe laboratory, so let's see what augments are on offer. Nothing that we need just now, but let's see if we can roll our way around. All right, Flaring Hysteria. This is one of 2 Hysteria Augs, the most powerful upsides in the game. The downside is that I now take triple damage from any incoming source.
It'll be fun.
Сейчас по нам проходит урон в 3-кратном размере, но за это мы наносим больше урона. Классика.
The upside of a Hysteria is that normally, anytime you collect an AUG, any kind of stackable power-up for the entire rest of the game, you get 2 copies. With the Prototype Resonator, we instead get 3 copies.
Сейчас нам говорят о том, что у нас есть прототип-резонатор, который любой предмет, который может стакаться, дает нам в количестве 3 штук. Очень выгодно. В общем-то, основные модификаторы негативные, которые мы взяли для врагов, это увеличение урона по нам и увеличение хп у них, но модификаторы, которые мы берем на усиление, направлены на увеличение урона по ним.
That one is arguably the most dangerous because based on where his spacing is, it can get very difficult to avoid, especially if there are also...
Вот эти вот огненные атаки, которые он делает, довольно-таки опасны, если он будет делать их в не очень хорошем споте, в не очень хорошем месте арены. И тогда от них будет сложно уклониться. О, так он задоджил пламя.
Special weapon here. Every primary weapon has a different what's called an unleash. So our unleash for the ace saber is kind of a blade toggle, and as soon as the blade resets ace again, he can.
Все основные виды оружия имеют так называемую спешл атаку. В данном случае это unleash, наш меч. Это вот такой вот небольшой, не знаю, сгусток энергии, который персонаж запускает.
The whole dang 30xdx team. And we've got a $1,000 donation.
Awesome. Thank you so much to CK, Red Space,
Команда разработчиков
City Fires,
30XX отправила $1000.
It says thanks to T-Tree and good luck for everlasting peace.
For everlasting peace. 3 minutes out of the first level. Not bad at all. Oh, my pleasure. All right. I did have the option to go to the level that contains the other mobility power-up that I'd like to see, but I'm actually going to skip it for now because I do have what I need for this level, because the second half of this level is a vertical climb. So we are avoiding that for now. We're going to re-roll one more item. Oh, the Fatal Fury doesn't stack anymore, and that makes me sad. That's an item that powers you up in exchange for some of your maximum health. So I did just give away some maximum HP and gain 1 additional power for both regular attacks and specials. In the olden days, you used to be able to take multiple copies of that at a time and just absolutely decimate your health pool in exchange for getting a really, really strong. Was that just something you felt was a little too unbalanced, CK?
No, I'm going to go on record here and say that's probably a bug. You're still supposed to be able to collect that multiple times. We're still actively working on the game, even though we're post 1.0. We're still got a lot to say for the game. I think there's a lot still we want to do. And that maybe also includes introducing the occasional bug here live on the GDQ stage.
Oh, well, sorry about that. These things do happen. No,
hey,
like
they
I
do
said,
happen.
The Battery Stable Games team is tremendously responsive to anything that comes up. By the way, we just saw Loot Omega, the little brother of a boss later in the game, and the trademark Loot Pinata, kind of like a beat in traditional Mega Man games. Loot Omega is great to see in a run because what he does is he basically evens out the section of the stage that he shows up on. He gives you special golden currency worth 2 points each, and he gives you a special AUG at the end. I just got a speed demon, which is great because now I move faster, and every time I defeat a boss and go into another stage, I will move even faster. It is
Мы получили усиление демон скорости, который дает нам ускорение, и за каждого побежденного босса мы получаем дополнительную скорость.
The other downside, however, is that any health I take, any damage I take that would reduce my current health below my maximum health, reduces the maximum health as well. So basically, I take damage directly to my maximum HP, and as I say that, I go into a gauntlet challenge room, which are extremely dangerous. They are full of enemies, chock-a-block, and I take triple base damage. So,
ну как взял? Сейчас у него еще есть негативный эффект, который при получении урона понижает его максимальное количество хп, то есть каждый полученный удар понижает хп максимальное, которое он может иметь.
These are kind of like the armor upgrade chips from Mega Man X. They make everything that you can do with the piece that you collect for even better. So if we can get him down, we'll collect the leg upgrade. Because I did not already have a leg upgrade piece, I now am granted one automatically, and that has introduced a new function called Corruption. Corruption is the green bar above Ace's head, and when it is filling up, you are slightly better at everything you do. You move a little faster, you hit a little harder, but when it fills all the way up,
Нам дает специальный бонус Corruption. Это вот зеленая полоска над головой героя.
So when corruption fills all the way up, every function you don't have a armor piece for is locked out. So right now, when my corruption bar fills all the way up, all I can do
И
is
как только он заполнится, абсолютно все части без брони, те, на которых нет куска брони, отключатся. Поэтому очень важно сейчас менеджментить эту шкалу из-за того, что пока она есть, мы делаем все немного лучше, но как только она заполнится, мы потеряем способности, на которых нет модификатора усиления.
Extreme value, we love it.
That is what we are here to give you, extreme value in a variety of randomized formats. We are here on boss number 2, Absolution, the boss of Penumbra, the church of 30XX. This game has a lot of things going on. It does, in fact, have a story. If you want to know what it is, I recommend you play to find out. It is basically everything that happened in between the developer's previous game.
Ну вот можете увидеть, насколько быстрее мы стали. Вот, и он переполнил, надпись Jump заклинила.
This is the mid phase for this. Unfortunately, I don't have quite enough strength to avoid or to defeat these before they are able to attack, especially now that I am rendered powerless. We dash our way out of it, and we see if we can make ourselves some good spacing. Yeah, this is very much an up and down run right now.
Да, по сравнению с мегаменами намного сложнее понять, что происходит, потому что это рогалик. Это не мегамен, это рогалик в первую очередь. А во вторую очередь это мегамен. То есть это рогалик-мегамен с элементами Metroidvania. С элементами, не Metroidvania, это важно.
Double power from Absolution. What that does is essentially for a constant energy drain, it does give us a little bit of an attack increase in terms of length from where we can attack. I will actually go ahead and take this. This actually disables both of the powers from bosses that I have. Everything except the Saber Unleash. But if I am able to succeed the entire level with the challenge that Delta has issued me, I will instead get a special core part at the end of the level. So I made a quick decision and said, hey, the relative amount of risk versus the reward I'm going to get is probably worth it.
Ну вот, снова он говорит о том, что мы взяли специальное испытание, которое заставляет нас играть в игру риск-награда, в которой, если мы берем непосредственно испытание, то мы не можем пользоваться способностями частично, которые получили, но за прохождение уровня нам в конце дадут ядро усиления. То есть мы берем это испытание, потому что выгодно, и берем соответствующий риск. В первую очередь это мегамен. И чтобы быть мегаменом, надо быть мегаменом. А чтобы быть рогаликом, нужна механика рогалика с генерацией уровней. В мегамене они заранее распределены, из-за этого они такие... Я не знаю, хочется сказать, более плавные, что ли, понятные. Уровни мегамена читаются, и они не меняются. Из-за этого подготовка к экрану совсем другая, и геймплей другой, постановка уровня на другом уровне. А здесь у вас рогалик, поэтому вы должны спланировать условные компоновки комнат так, чтобы у игрока не получалась какая-нибудь адская феерия мук и страданий. We actually get a really short level chunk or segment there, so I'm happy. We might have missed a power up, but the speed we got in exchange is almost certainly worth it. On into the boss of level 3 here, Capital Punishment. Everyone say hi to the embodiment of capitalism in this year of 30XX. He is here to stomp us into paste, essentially. Although he's not going to do it himself. He doesn't like to get his hands dirty, so he hangs out at the bottom of the screen, and we try to hit him with these explosive barrels. If we had good movement options, we could move up towards him earlier. You saw me go up the wall a little bit, but this is probably the best combination of options we have available to us. I really don't want to top out that. В общем-то, босс наверху кидает нас руки. Мы должны эти руки заставить с помощью бомб подобраться к нему и накидать ему.
Right in the corner where we want it. Excellent. I've also picked up the hover boots, which is one piece of a set that is primarily defense-based. It gives us a nice hover, and if we collect the whole thing, we will be immune from any stationary hazards, lava pits, spikes, lasers, things of that nature. In the meantime,
сейчас он говорит о том, что ему выпала часть сета, собрав который полностью вы получите полный иммунитет от эффектов поверхности, лавы, шипов, заражения и так далее.
So casually, this is probably some players' least favorite level, both because the boss can be very difficult if you are a new player, and because the gravity mechanics are fairly difficult to wrap your head around. But we're on a pretty good run so far. That was an elite enemy. You can see it did 1.5 times damage. So instead of taking 30, I took 45. We try not to do that as often as we can. Thankfully, we are moving so quickly that we're just on into the mini-boss, our big frog friend. Man, frogs are so friend-shaped. Unfortunately, this is a frog that wants us dead, so we have to return the favor. I'm sorry. I feel bad, but...
It's okay, doesn't
Не
mind.
повезло, не повезло.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. You know, if that's kind of within spec for what they were built for, then I won't worry about it too much. I won't say my conscience is clear, but I won't worry about it too much. So, Chris, what are you thinking about what you've seen so far?
Oh, it's incredible. I'm just watching you blow through so quickly.
Если вам интересно, VR в Escape проценте 15-57, то есть чисто технически мы на VR уже не успеваем, но во время эстимейта можем уложиться даже с парой смертей.
The armor roll with the trader that immediately made your health bar so long that it sort of switches to that just number-based mode. When you saw T-Tree's health bar go immediately to that, you just see it's because otherwise it would be like 50 blocks off the screen by now, I think.
Yes, you can turn... Hybrid is on by default. You can turn it off and basically just have your health bar or energy bar go off the far side of the screen. Oh, I do have powers on this level, right?
Лучшее время раннера это 20 минут, то есть мы где-то на 25 попадем.
We are able to,
Yeah,
especially...
make it short.
Yeah, now that we have Experiment 9 into the second half of its health bar, once we burn off our Vagrant bar, we are able to, because both of these powers that I took, Zenascent and Ryusei, the up and down powers respectively, they give brief contact damage immunity. So if I finish one of those powers when I'm over Experiment 9's hitbox, I do not take damage for about a half a second after that. So when he is up, I can uppercut into him and then dash back down. Or I can basically just make any combination of those two based on where he is. He's not giving me a great pattern today, but that's okay because we are powerful enough that we don't need to worry about it too much. Extra move speed for us as we finish the level. Always good to see. Right about our 3-minute par time per level, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna go ahead and take Leviathan, the big smiling bomb, because, you know, everything in this game is a robot, even the bombs.
Pretty excited for the community to get to see Leviathan shine a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. It is one of Ace's best, on average, ranged options because you can, you know, if you choose to take it, you don't need to have any of his other things. Weapon unleashes.
Там сейчас говорят о том, что мы Левиафан, которого мы взяли, это такая маленькая бомба, это одна из лучших способностей Эйса для дальних атак. Так что нам повезло.
But basically, you get a sense after playing the game. You know, I would say probably a few dozen hours for me. But this was 1.1 was a big patch dropped in December. So some of these level chunks and configurations I've only been familiar with for I don't know, about 3 weeks. So those and some of the challenge levels we can potentially get later are largely new to me. So you know, a little bit more randomness into the run. But we've accepted this much already, so why not a little bit more? Cav, how you feeling?
Feeling good. Loving the Zenascent here, just zipping through this whole stage, hitting all those cloud jump blocks, just going everywhere.
Yeah, Cav brought up the cloud jumps, or the aerial pads in the background. If you use the Zenascent, there are no traditional stage weaknesses in this game, but if you use the special powers, there are often stage interactions and also boss interactions. The stage interaction for this level is if you use Zenascent on these cloud jump panels, you do get double height on them. Managed to finish quick enough to have all 3 options available to us. I'm going to take the jump height increase. The reason I took the fist slam before we got to this part is so I can kind of turn this into a little bit of an auto-scroller. I do still have to be in control of Ace here to make sure I hit as few spikes as possible, especially since they do triple damage. I'm actually getting low on my armor, so hopefully we can get something that lets us generate more. And low on energy because I took damage from the spikes, and that still water punishment that I took at the beginning of the run did power me down.
Очень аккуратен, потому что урон наносится тройной, и шипы его просто ваншотнут. Небольшое уточнение. 238 хп и 96 брони, это неплохо. Очень даже неплохо для него. Но все равно это не спасет его от сильных атак. На босса у нас аж 438 хп на 6 брони. Ну, неплохо.
who says, huge shout outs to a T-Tree for your first GDQ run. I'm so proud of you for making it onto the stage, and I wish you the best of luck. Just don't forget to pet our cats when the event is over. Less than 3.
Вот
Thank you
Омега.
very much, Rijikun. That is my partner. I love you. They're out in the audience, I think. So I will make sure to give our cats lots of love when we get home.
And we've got $50 from Vinny Bushes. Hey, T-Tree, so amazing to see you up on the GDQ stage. It's always been great to hear your dulcet tones as a host, but it's truly incredible to see you killing it playing this great game. Much love from the Nextlander Discord.
Thank you so much. We're not quite done with this fight, so how about one more? This is one where I need to be able to pay attention as much as I can.
I got you, friend. We've got $50 from Shay. Hey, T-Tree, I have an extremely important question that I'd like to know the answer to.
Go ahead, Shay.
Would you consider yourself to be book smart or money smart?
No, but thank you for asking. So yeah, that was Hudomega, the big brother of Ludomega from earlier. And as much as he is very friend-shaped and a good boy, he is not serving us any help in our run.
Да,
So we had
это мегаблок, как они говорят. Потому что дальше Мегамен 3, Мегамен 8, и потом Metroid Prime 2 Echoes.
Technically, we're just touching the targets, but this is a special challenge mode added in 1.1, and my brain says break the targets every time I go into one of these, so you got to hear it too.
We didn't want to get sued.
Fair. All right, where am I at right now? I'm going to take the charge time reduction so I can use fully charged attacks more often because I took a power-up earlier that makes charged attacks more powerful called the Intensifier. Because we're coming into this level a little later in the run, this is surprisingly maze-like already. Some of these sections have lots of spikes. We don't have hazard immunity just yet, although we are only one armor piece away, so maybe we'll get there. The Cool Spawner, my favorite enemy in the game. I'm sorry I didn't give everybody the opportunity to say hi to the Cool Spawner, but the Cool Spawner is very, very cool. On into our mid-boss here, kind of our other Gemini Man situation, like in Penumbra back in level 2. There are 2 enemies here. They do not share health bars in this case, but they put out lots of projectiles. Thankfully, we were able to make it through that relatively unscathed. I will take more health because more health is probably always good. Unfortunately, again, no more useful prototypes. There are a ton of prototypes in this game. Casually, they're an awful lot of fun. The one on the right just there is called the Auto Loader, which technically grants you every weapon your character has available to them in the entire game. But the downside is that it switches through them randomly every couple of kills you get. So, you know, if you can survive your way through that, if you want to get a sense for what the weapons are, and if you are able to get an item that we got on the last level called the Sister
Также
Restore,
продолжаем
which
диалог
only
о
shows up
риск-награде.
once per game,
Сейчас у нас челлендж пройти уровень так, что при убийстве нескольких врагов у нас меняется один из модификаторов.
Any other prototypes we pick up for the entire rest of the game, we cannot cure those negative conditions. So let's see if we can make it a little spicier going across the last few levels, and otherwise we will just make it as fun as possible. This is Echo.
Игра, если что, вышла в 23-м году, я хотел сказать в этом. Так что, если вам нравятся рогалики или Metroid, ой, не Metroid, Мегамен, можно попробовать.
This is honestly a great boss. I'm glad we didn't fight him at the end because he can use up to 4 of those bouncing bolts if we're at the end of the run.
Сейчас Раннер говорит, что босс клевый, но он очень рад, что мы не получили его в конце, из-за того, что он может использовать супер неприятные атаки, которые нас ваншотнут.
But this is actually kind of slow, so let's see if we can't fix that over the last couple of levels of the run.
О, в чате появился специалист по Мегамену. Будет здорово, если он зайдет на комментирование, потому что нам осталось минут 15 рано.
There's a 50% chance of that. Every power-up, if you take it a couple of levels later, there is an opportunity for a special bonus portion of it. Another break the targets. Smash Brothers fans eating good. But yeah, so we were able to take a random one of the 2 upgrades, and the one that we got was the one that makes it go even faster, and we love to see that. Taking a little bit too much damage here. Let's see if we can navigate up to the 3rd one. We cannot afford to take more, but there's only 1 left to hit, so we get our choice of power-ups 1 or 2. Number 3 would have been amazing. It would have made every core we have basically free to equip. I didn't even talk about the core points system at all yet. Cab, would you like to take that one?
Yes, all those armor pieces we were talking about earlier, they cost something called core points. It's a little just another health metric we have inside. You go to the menu, core costs so much to equip or not. that item that we just passed up would have reduced the cost of all those, which would have been great. But we just got Contractor Beta, which is another great one. All of your stats go up based on how close you are to max health, so now we really don't want to get hit. Because as soon as you start losing hit points in this, those attacks go from like amazingly overpowered to amazingly underpowered.
Вот сейчас нам рассказывают о том, что тут есть такая вещь, как корпоинты, очки ядра, которые мы тратим на получение модификаций. Как только у нас 70% хп, мы будем наносить где-то меньше 100%, а на 30 почти не будем наносить урона вообще, поэтому нам надо оставаться с высоким уровнем здоровья. В общем-то, если вы играете хорошо, игра вам становится намного легче. Чем выше ваш навык игры, тем легче вам в нее играть, удивительно.
Unfortunately, we can't re-roll, so 3 out of the 5 of these are useful, including an additional 20 run speed. That actually does not have the full efficacy if it does the first time you get it. Do you know what the drop-off points for the speed there are, CK?
There's no actual total breakpoint. It just scales infinitely, but it is kind of on DR after 32.
32, got it. I know it's like 100%, then 50, then 25, then 10, something like that, so.
Yeah, I think it's 4, 8, 16, 32 maybe?
Сейчас один из разработчиков говорит, что капа скорости как такового нет.
Ideally, what you want to do as a casual player is defeat all 4 faces at once. What we're doing instead is we kind of made ourselves a little divot on the bottom half of the screen, knowing that we still only have that one piece of the Vagrant set, and therefore, every time we attack too much and fill up on Corruption, we lose the ability to do everything but dash. So I made myself kind of a little safe hidey hole down here on the bottom half of the boss fight, so that every time that happens, I can dash a couple of times and be ready to go again.
Every time you destroy one of the clock faces here, the rest of them just start attacking more ferociously.
Yes.
So you gotta be a little careful here.
It's basically...
So normally you want to evenly DPS them down, but of course here, we're just going to hide in that little corner there and, negate most of those attacks. That Steve Tree knows exactly the rhythm of the boss's attacks and knows when he's got to get out of the way of the important one.
Если знать ритм атак босса, то вот в этом верхнем правом углу можно спрятаться от большей части атак, которые он делает. Так что мы специально оставляем этот уязвимую точку напоследок, чтобы просто стоять в углу и наносить урон.
Yeah, because I don't have the ability to change things except between levels, and overall the extra speed and power from the corruption system is going to be at the very worst the net neutral. Maybe it's a slight net negative now that I have Contractor Beta, but at this point we're basically at the end of the run. There's like 1 or 2 more opportunities to change things out, and I'm not going to worry about it too much unless I have to. That was a mini-boss. Hello and goodbye.
Where did it go?
Это был мини-босс. Привет и до свидания.
How could you?
Look, it might have had a family. Like, everything in this universe is robots, so either we're all one big family, or... You know what? Let's not get into the philosophical implications here.
All right.
A second gauntlet, so we're going to see if we can get 1 more of those power-up chips for us. Make it through a relatively dangerous corridor, because it's not like there's a super high density, but everything bounces. This is the chest plate guardian. See how quickly we can get him down. Use Storm Herald, nice and easy. We actually didn't have any chess pieces until then, so we just got the Zookeeper's Phalanx, which is great. It's one of the, say hello and goodbye to Deep Verse Part 2, on average the shortest level chunk in the game. But yeah, what this does is it gives us a base 10% chance to negate damage, resonated with the upgrade chip to 20 or 25. And then every little robot buddy, the repros we have behind us, increases that chance even further.
Yeah, I believe up to a max of 50, so you're going to be getting quite a lot of damage reduction pretty quick.
And I just grabbed a CQC Enthusiast, which is an absolutely wonderful DPS increase. It increases the base damage of Ace Here's Saber Slashes, so everything else we've gotten so far this run works off of that new increased base damage. So yeah, we do a lot more damage now.
Yeah, you've gotten a huge damage boost in the last 2 levels here. CQC
What just happened?
Нормально, нормально.
And maybe a third phase there, but no need.
Вот босс исчез, 2-й, 3-й фазы не было. Мы наносим вот настолько много урона.
This one is for Timeout. I am taking Asafune. I don't use it most runs, but I figured I should take it anyway. So shout outs to the 20XX, 30XX Discord, discord.gg/20XX. Great people there, people who have both kind of inspired me to get running, helped me figure out things throughout the run.
Сейчас он передает привет Дискорду 20XX, который вдохновил его на спидранинг.
Who has not come back for the current patch, but I will freely admit is better at this game than I am. Just a bunch of wonderful, supportive people. This is Kerr from 20XX, and that was Kerr from 20XX.
I promise you there was a stage underneath that that's actually kind of hard. It's over a giant chasm. We just jumped the entire thing.
Yep, and then I picked up 5 random upgrades. The reason we're getting so much trading dump, the mysterious trader here, is because we are trading in useless garbage to her. We don't know what it does, but she sure seems to know what it's about. So she gives us the most scrap bits of any item trade-in the game that we can get every time we give her random garbage. And because we have 5 copies of it, every time we see her for the rest of the game, we can give her more garbage and walk away with more neat stuff. This is basically our boss refight level. Unfortunately, I'm out of armor, so I am actually taking knockback damage, which I was not quite expecting. But every level, every stage segment in this is made up of 2 gimmicks from levels earlier. You may recognize things like the Dustria Crushers, the lasers.
Вот сейчас начинается сегмент с босс-рашем, и уровень построен так, что в нем есть части из каждого уровня, в котором мы побывали. И сейчас мы получаем откидывание назад каждый раз, когда получаем урон из-за того, что у раннера нет брони, которая позволяла ему просто рашить все, не получая нокбэка.
So you do have it now, so you're hovering around 100% damage. Any lower health than this, and I think you'll be, dealing a little reduced.
Yeah, let's see if we can get ourselves a shop. No, but we did get a health vendor, so I will gladly take that. A little bit of bonus armor.
Сейчас мы могли получить магазин, но нам не то чтобы повезло и не повезло одновременно. Мы получили магазин здоровья, и за здоровье наш модуль дает нам дополнительную броню, так что все не так плохо.
So she's trying to stop what she calls the big crunch, and we're trying to stop her. A clash of wills, to be sure. She has the ability to use, as her health changes, basically the tactics and stage hazards from every boss in the game. But we were able to defeat her, get a air dash, which is something that's absolutely great for us, skip a lecture, because she does like to tell us how foolish we were and how this universe is ruined, but we will yeet ourselves straight down to Midgard, the Swallower of Space, and the final level of 30XX. I will tell you now that this level is, once a run with this kind of danger profile gets going well, if you make it to the end, level 10 is kind of a formality. So if my commentators, Cab and CK, would like to do their shoutouts, now would be an absolutely lovely time to do so.
CK, thank you for making this game.
Yes, thank you so much, CK, and the entire Battery Staple Games team.
Just shout-outs to our early access community, our super friends, the folks that helped us make this game great as well as we possibly could while we were
разработчик передает привет сообществу раннего доступа, которое помогло сделать эту игру.
Continue to have fans who are buying and helping us make the things better so we can afford to do it and make it as best as possible. And we will never, ever stop appreciating that. Of course, shout-outs to the whole Battery Staple team, too. We're so happy to get to keep working with you guys.
Shout-outs to you all. Elevator going down to the ground floor. Cab, any words from you?
Oh my gosh, it's so fast.
Yeah, there's our free time save. Cab, what you got for us?
I mean, just that. Thanks for making this game. Thanks to the whole community who worked hard on figuring out all these combos. This has been a blast to run. I highly recommend everybody just who wants to play more Mega Man, play 20XX, support this community. It's wonderful. Get this game.
Hear, hear.
Pretty good timing for the final boss segment here.
Yeah, absolutely. These look suspiciously like us. I wonder what that's about.
I don't know. They do look like us.
That one looks like me, but like a weird robo head.
Wireframe something or other.
Yeah, like almost like I've seen that from another game. I don't know.
Maybe.
Big bonus shout out to Alex, our server engineer, for designing that robo head.
Nice. Shout outs to Alex. So yeah, you want to see me beat the final boss? I just did. You want to see me beat him again? And like any good Mega Man X-respecting game, of course, we have a final escape sequence from the crumbling belly of Midgard, the belly of the beast. We are now going so fast that we are occasionally able to get off the far right side of the screen. Love to see it. I'm glad I got to show that off.
И теперь секция с побегом.
And as soon as we get into the capsule, in 4, 3, 2, 1, time!
Все.
That is 30XX New Game Plus in 2920 IGT, which I'm going to guess is about 3130 RTA. Carter, you want to check me on that?
You're looking at 3124.
Pretty close. Yeah, my name is T-Tree. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here as part of AGDQ 2024, especially to Mr. Cab, who... too modest. You have a run coming up. You're on commentary for the next run too.
Оставляю рубку. Всем удачи, чат. Следующий раунд мега-мужик.
Приветствую вас, чат. Поблагодарим предыдущего комментатора за то, что он долгое время, уже чуть ли не весь день комментировал этот ивент. Уже завершился ран по 30XX. По расписанию сейчас будет интервью, видимо, участникам этого забега. Мы можем воспользоваться этим перерывом и сходить, например, наполнить себе посуду для того, чтобы перекусить, потому что это интервью, к сожалению, увы, но перевести я не смогу, но мы обязательно его послушаем с вами